guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing amazing from a very wintry, cold run that I'm about to set off on this morning. Today we're going to talk about how you run faster for longer. It is absolutely treacherous this morning. As you can see, it's slippy and I'm going to aim to run on here as much as possible. But sometimes you've got to be careful with the cars on the road. They just sometimes do not acknowledge that there's a runner there. You just need to be really careful. So I am going to go for a 8k easy run, 8 to 10k. Basically, I did my ultra 3 days ago and I'm feeling really fresh. And I think that's a testament to maybe my training and how hard I've worked. Honestly, I trained legs yesterday and I was like, I should not feel this so sound after running 58k. I need to go because I'm getting too cold. It's absolutely treacherous, so I can't really film and run today because it's so snowy, but what we're going to do anyway, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to actually talk you through how you can improve your fitness so you can actually run faster for longer. It's one of the questions that I'm asked a lot in terms of how do we actually improve our fitness so we can go at a faster pace for a longer period of time. So this run is an aerobic run and we're going to touch on that later. Heart rate is currently 134. I'm running quite a bit slower than usual and it's because my feet are all over the show. So one thing I'm massively underestimated for this run, I'm slipping every step pretty much. Can't run on the road because it's black ice and that's worse. And you guys know I've got really bad calves. I actually have booked in for physio on Thursday, but I keep slipping every step and it's really hurting my calves. It's one thing I didn't anticipate, but when I was doing the ultra, because I had a really severe upper scap back pain, the calf pain kind of numbed itself. And honestly, the whole 58k, my calves just went numb. Whereas now, because my back isn't sore, yeah, my calves are on fire. But yeah, the snow isn't helping any situation today. Definitely quite a treacherous run this morning. 9.2k, don't know where the 2 came from. 5:12 pace. Today I wanted to talk to you about running faster for longer. Now, when I first started my running journey, and we're going back maybe 3 years now, I say the start of my running journey. However, it's really important to remember I was brought up in a very, very sporty environment and I used to basically swim full time. But my aerobic capacity, my lung capacity, my heart health, my overall fitness for endurance is better. It was in a different sport, but I still think physically and psychologically and how I adapt to running must have been a benefit from how many years that I swam for. Now, so many people ask me, have you always been able to run faster? Have you always been able to run like those distances with such a low heart rate? And the answer is no. Everyone starts off somewhere. Obviously, people start in different areas. As I said to you guys, I was already in sport my whole life, so it might have been a little bit different for me when I went into running. I signed up to my 100k run when I'd only ran 25k and I just obviously wanted an intense challenge, but this is when I started to realize specifically the importance of aerobic easy runs. When I first started running, I used to go out on every single run, whether it was a 5, 10 or 15, because I didn't really go above that at all when I first started running. Like it was more, I did like 5 and 10Ks. This was kind of maybe during one of like the last lockdowns that I started doing it. I would go out on every single run and want to PB and want to sprint and want to absolutely gas myself out because I thought that is what you're supposed to do to get better. I thought you had to go out on every single run and sprint it to get better at running. You cannot get better if you go out on every single run thinking it's going to be your best and your fastest and you're going to PB. It just doesn't work like that. Just as the same in the gym environment, you will not go into the gym every single day and do a 1 rep max. Your central nervous system, your body, it would not cope with those adaptations doing it that frequently. And this is the exact same as running. Aerobic running, it's not seen as sexy. It's almost kind of like, you know, when you go to the gym and you need to stretch, you need to do mobility, but it's a bit boring, it's a bit unsexy. I think that is kind of the vibe of aerobic running. And this is why I never did at the start. I was like, why do I need to do slow runs? I was like, that makes no sense to me. Why would I have to do slow runs? That's not gonna make me get any faster. Now, you need to build your aerobic capacity to be able to run one, further, second, to be able to run faster as well. And this is what I want to touch on today because
I'm always asked it on Instagram and I'm always asked it on YouTube, and I thought it would be really, really helpful for you guys. With aerobic running, the biggest thing that I can tell you today is to be patient and to be consistent. It isn't something that happens overnight, and it isn't really something that happens in a couple of weeks. This is where you have to be hitting those aerobic runs consistently at a set pace, following a set heart rate, for a period of months, and they should always then be interluded into your training. With My Coach app, every single program that we have has multiple easy runs in, whether it's the running programs, running and lifting, they have easy runs in because this is what is going to make you improve the most. Our body has two systems, aerobic and anaerobic. Regardless of how fast we are running, we are always using both aerobic and anaerobic energy systems. Essentially, anaerobic means without oxygen. So when you are starting to run faster, this is where you'll creep into anaerobic work, but this is obviously not sustainable for a really, really long period of time. Your aerobic capacity, on the other hand, is where you will do most of your long runs, and this is where you will increase your fitness. Regarding your aerobic runs, the pace is completely individual to you as a person, and this is where it's really important to not compare your heart rate, your pace, and essentially your program to any other person, because they're not you, and everyone is different, especially with their heart health, their lung health, and essentially how fit they are. The physiological effects of running aerobic, there are so many that I can go over today, and I'm going to try and do them in a way that you'll be able to understand why it's necessary and so important for you if you do want to improve your running, if you want to get faster, fitter, stronger, and be able to go for longer. I really hope these tips are going to help you. Now, the first thing that happens is an increase in capillary count. When you are training at a aerobic intensity, so when we're off doing an aerobic run, you stimulate your body to increase the number of capillaries during your recovery. Now, our bodies utilize capillaries to transport oxygen and get rid of waste products. This is why it is so important that if they are increasing, your body can better utilize oxygen when you are running. Secondly, again, a little bit more sciencey, increase mitochondria density. Mitochondria uses oxygen to convert nutrients that are in your body into energy, so you can keep going and going. Your aerobic training will increase the existing mitochondria that you've already got in your body and the growth of more. So therefore, you actually have more energy when running. Obviously, this can relate to any form of exercise, but when we're specifically looking at the aerobic capacity, you can therefore run faster for longer. Obviously, I want to get to the point with you today as well in terms of how you, at home, wherever you are, can increase your aerobic capacity, because I want you to be able to run faster for longer. The most efficient way to improve your aerobic capacity is simply by doing those easy, moderate runs within your training. However, you have to do it consistently. Don't just watch this video and do one easy run and think, boom, aerobic capacity sorted. It's not that. You need to work on it over a period of time. And then once it's in your training, this should just be part of your norm, like part of your program. Every single week, you should have those easy aerobic runs. The best way to see if you're actually running aerobically and at an easy pace is it should be a conversational, non-fatiguing pace. That is really important to remember. And you can do this by doing the talk test when you're running. Even if you're running on your own, I even sometimes do it by myself. Talk out loud, and if you can easily hold a conversation, you are running aerobically. If you wear a Garmin or a heart rate strap or anything like that, Apple Watch, Whoop, whatever it is, if you are calculating your heart rate, now I don't know with any other fitness watches, but I know with Garmin, it shows you your different zones. So you have 5 different heart rate zones, and it will show you what zone you're in, which is really, really clever. Now, you pretty much want to be in zone 2. Pushing into zone 3, of course, sometimes, but it is 70 to 80% of your max heart rate. So say, for example, your maximum heart rate was 190 beats per minute, 70% would be 133 beats per minute, and 80% would be 152 beats per minute. Now, this would be your range of where you want that run to be. I am going to give you a pre-warning. When you first start aerobic running, easy runs, they will feel very slow. They will feel very, very slow indeed, particularly you're basing it off heart rate. If your heart heart rate is spiking and you're just getting into it, it is going to be higher because you've not really done it before. Over time, your heart rate will drop down and the pace should stay relatively the same because you're getting fitter, as we spoke about before. Increased capillary density, increased mitochondria, you're getting fitter, you're getting stronger, you're getting used to those runs, and over time, the pace should be staying where it is. This means that when you start running longer distances, so if you're creeping from 10, 12, 15, 20, half marathon, up and up and up, if you're training for a marathon or whatever it is, your heart rate over time will stay lower and you can run further. When your heart rate is staying lower, this means you can probably start to increase the pace as well over time because you're not as gassed out, you're not as out of breath, and you're just fitter for those runs. The reason that I wanted to do this video, because I thought, oh my God, it's gonna be really boring for people, but if you want to improve your running, I think this is the most beneficial thing that you could possibly do. I obviously coach running and lifting massively. Like, I'm so passionate about the hybrid approach to training and people doing a multitude of sports and enjoying them. With my coach app, we have so many different running programs on there and they are tailored so you can start whatever is appropriate for you in your journey. We have a 5K program, we have 2 10K programs, a half marathon program. There are currently 2 full marathon programs on the app, and by the time this video is out, my marathon program, the It Girl Marathon program, will have launched, and obviously you can join it whenever you want. I'm so proud of that program. It took about 6 months to create because it was tried, tested by myself. I've done 2 marathons with it, and I just am so passionate about you getting better with running and actually enjoying it, because I know at the start running can sometimes it's not that enjoyable because it feels so overwhelming and there's a lot of information out there, whereas I just want to say to you, look, do you know what, you need to do some easy aerobic runs, and that's in there. So fingers crossed this was a very, very helpful, beneficial, enjoyable video for you. Make sure that you stay subscribed. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.